Did you know that more than 37 million Americans live with diabetes, and nearly half still struggle with stubborn blood sugar spikes, nerve pain, or poor circulation, even while taking medications and eating carefully? What if I told you that three simple foods often overlooked in your kitchen can flatten glucose spikes by up to 30%, repair damaged nerves, improve memory and focus, and even restore energy and fertility? These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're everyday foods you've seen countless times but probably never realized how powerful they are for diabetics. And here's the best part. You won't just learn what they are, you'll also get pro tips on how to eat them, the right portions, and the best times of day to use them for maximum blood sugar control. Stay with me, because once you discover what these three humble nuts can do inside your body, you'll wonder why no one ever told you this before. Third on list, peanuts. Peanuts, also known scientifically as Aracis hypogea, may be humble and inexpensive, but don't let their simplicity fool you. These small legumes, yes, peanuts are technically legumes, not true tree nuts, can act like a daily insulin helper for people living with diabetes. Their nutrient profile is designed to slow blood sugar rises, protect the heart, support nerve health, and even improve the gut microbiome, all while being one of the most affordable and widely available diabetic-friendly foods in the U.S. What makes peanuts special is that they combine steady energy with compounds that actively help your body use insulin more effectively, something most diabetics struggle with. Let's start with the numbers. 1 ounce of dry roasted peanuts, about 28 whole kernels, contains around 161 calories, 14 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein, and just 6 grams of total carbohydrates. Thanks to 2.4 grams of fiber, the net carb load drops to just 3.6 grams. Their glycemic index is remarkably low, between 13 and 23 depending on preparation, and the glycemic load for an ounce is about 1, making them essentially blood sugar neutral. In fact, eating peanuts with a carb-rich meal can reduce the post-meal blood sugar spike by as much as 25 to 30%, according to research. That's not just safe, that's therapeutic blood sugar control in action. The protein and fat in peanuts are important, but what truly sets peanuts apart for diabetics is their unique combination of arginine, resveratrol, and magnesium. Arginine is an amino acid that helps relax blood vessels and improve circulation, lowering blood pressure and reducing strain on the heart. Resveratrol, the same antioxidant found in red wine, improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and protects blood vessels from oxidative stress. And magnesium, present at 49 milligrams per ounce, about 12% of the daily value, plays a direct role in glucose uptake and insulin receptor signaling. Many people with type 2 diabetes are deficient in magnesium, and peanuts provide a daily, snackable way to help restore it. One fascinating study found that diabetics who added peanuts to their breakfast had lower blood sugar levels for up to 12 hours afterward, compared to those who ate a carb-only breakfast. This shows that peanuts don't just work in the moment, they reset how your body handles glucose long after the meal is over. Another piece of research showed that regular peanut consumption improved insulin sensitivity scores by up to 21% in insulin-resistant adults. That's the kind of shift that helps lower fasting glucose, A1C, and even reduces the risk of diabetic complications. Peanuts are also highly effective for appetite control, something many diabetics struggle with. The high protein and fat content trigger the release of satiety hormones like peptide YY and cholecystokinin, CCK, while blunting the hunger hormone ghrelin. Eating just a small handful of peanuts before a meal can make you feel fuller, helping reduce cravings for high glycemic snacks later in the day. In fact, research shows that including peanuts in the diet is linked to fewer daily calories consumed overall, yet better weight management, a critical factor for insulin resistance and diabetes. Here's another area where peanuts shine: gut health. Recent studies suggest that the polyphenols in peanuts act as prebiotics, feeding healthy gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These compounds directly improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation throughout the body. This gut healing effect is one reason peanuts can improve both blood sugar control and immunity at the same time. Here is a fun fact. Despite their small size, peanuts are the most widely consumed nut in the U.S., making up nearly 70% of all nut intake. That means most people already love them. They just need to learn how to use them correctly for diabetes management. A common myth is that peanuts are unhealthy because they're often associated with peanut butter and processed snacks. But here's the truth. Plain dry roasted or boiled peanuts are among the most nutrient-dense, affordable foods you can eat for blood sugar control. It's not peanuts that cause problems. It's the added sugar, hydrogenated oils, and excess salt in processed peanut products. Natural peanut butter, made from just peanuts and perhaps a pinch of salt, has the same blood sugar-friendly benefits as whole peanuts. Helpful pro tip. Want to get the most blood sugar benefit? Eat 10 to 15 peanuts about 10 minutes before a carb-based meal. This small portion slows gastric emptying, reduces the insulin spike, and can keep your blood sugar curve 20 to 25% flatter over the next few hours. Or try a classic diabetic-friendly snack. A small apple sliced and dipped into 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter. The fiber in the apple plus the fat and protein in the peanuts creates a balanced mini-meal that satisfies without spiking glucose. One gentle caution: peanuts are calorie-dense, and portion control matters. Stick to 1 ounce, a small handful, or about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter per day. Also choose unsalted or lightly salted peanuts to avoid excess sodium, which can raise blood pressure. For people with nut allergies, of course, peanuts should be avoided altogether, but for the majority, they're one of the most affordable ways to stabilize blood sugar. At around 20 cents to 30 cents per ounce in the U.S., peanuts are accessible to almost everyone. Yet their impact rivals much more expensive superfoods. They lower blood sugar, support the heart, heal the gut, calm appetite, and improve insulin sensitivity, all in one small handful. So while peanuts may look ordinary, they are metabolic medicine disguised as a snack. Affordable, familiar, and scientifically proven, they deserve a daily place in your diabetic routine. And if you thought peanuts were impressive, just wait until you see how the next nut doesn't just balance blood sugar, it restores vital minerals, calms cravings, and even supports fertility. Second on list, cashews. Cashews, also known scientifically as Anacardium occidental, are one of the creamiest and most versatile nuts you'll find. But for people living with diabetes, they're more than just a tasty snack. Beneath their smooth texture lies a nutrient profile that supports blood sugar control, reduces inflammation, improves vascular health, and even strengthens fertility. Unlike walnuts, which are rich in omega-3s, or peanuts, which deliver resveratrol and arginine, cashews bring their own unique set of minerals, especially magnesium, zinc, and copper, that directly target some of diabetes' most stubborn complications. Let's begin with the numbers. 1 ounce of cashews, about 18 whole nuts, contains 157 calories, 12 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, and 9 grams of total carbohydrates. With 1 gram of fiber, the net carb content comes down to about 8 grams. Their glycemic index is moderate at around 25, and the glycemic load for an ounce is 3, meaning cashews can raise blood sugar slightly more than peanuts or walnuts, but still remain very manageable in the right portion. In fact, when eaten in moderation, cashews have been shown to lower fasting glucose and improve insulin sensitivity by nearly 10 to 12% over a few months of regular use. The standout nutrient in cashews is magnesium. 1 ounce provides about 83 milligrams, or roughly 20% of the daily value. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for diabetics because it helps regulate insulin, receptor activity, supports muscle relaxation, and balances blood pressure. Research shows that magnesium deficiency is linked to higher HbA1c, insulin resistance, and increased risk of nerve pain. By restoring this mineral, cashews help reduce blood sugar spikes and ease the vascular strain that diabetes often creates. Zinc is another quiet hero. Cashews provide about 1.6 milligrams per ounce, or 15% of the daily value, and this is crucial for fertility, immune strength, and wound healing, all areas where diabetics often struggle. Zinc supports the production of insulin in the pancreas and helps regulate testosterone, ovulation, and reproductive hormone balance. In fact, research shows that zinc deficiency is common in type 2 diabetes, and restoring it can improve both blood sugar control and fertility outcomes in men and women. Cashews also supply copper and phosphorus, which support bone strength, collagen production, and red blood cell health, important for overall resilience in the diabetic body. Where cashews really stand out is in vascular health. The combination of magnesium, copper, and antioxidants like polyphenols helps relax arteries, reduce blood vessel inflammation, and improve circulation. In one study, adults with type 2 diabetes who ate cashews daily for 12 weeks experienced a 9% drop in LDL cholesterol and a 10% increase in HDL, while also showing lower blood pressure. This matters because diabetes doesn't just raise blood sugar, it damages blood vessels, raising the risk of stroke and heart attack. Cashews help restore balance in the cardiovascular system, easing the workload on the heart. Here's a fun fact. Cashews don't actually grow inside a hard shell like most nuts. They hang from the bottom of the cashew apple, a tropical fruit. That makes them one of the most unusual and labor-intensive nuts to harvest, which explains why they are considered premium in price and taste. A common myth is that cashews are too high in carbs to be safe for diabetes. But the truth is, their carbs are balanced with fiber, protein, and minerals that reduce their impact on blood sugar. Studies show that replacing refined carb snacks with cashews actually improves glycemic control rather than harming it. The key is portion size. Cashews are energy dense, so a small handful goes a long way. Here is pro tip. For maximum benefit, enjoy 1 ounce of cashews, about 18 kernels, as an afternoon snack, paired with high-fiber foods like celery sticks or cucumber slices. The fiber from the veggies, plus the magnesium and protein from the cashews, slow digestion, reduce blood sugar spikes, and keep you full until dinner. You can also make a simple cashew smoothie by blending a tablespoon of unsalted cashew butter with unsweetened almond milk, spinach, and a dash of cinnamon, a diabetic-friendly drink that balances minerals and keeps glucose steady. One important note, cashews are slightly higher in carbohydrates than peanuts or walnuts, so portion control is key. Stick to about 1 ounce per day and always choose unsalted, raw, or dry-roasted cashews. Avoid heavily salted or flavored versions, as excess sodium and sugar can undo their vascular and metabolic benefits. At about 60 cents to 80 cents per ounce in the US, cashews are a bit more expensive, but their unique mineral power makes them worth including regularly. They don't just support blood sugar, they strengthen your circulation, balance your hormones, and restore minerals many diabetics are missing. So while cashews may taste indulgent, they're more than a creamy snack. They're a mineral-rich therapy for your pancreas, heart, fertility, and vascular system. And if cashews surprised you with their mineral power, the next nut takes it even further, protecting your nerves, sharpening your memory, and strengthening your heart all at once. First on list, walnuts. Walnuts, also known scientifically as Juglans regia, aren't just another nut for snacking. For people living with diabetes, these brain-shaped kernels are nature's design hinting at their true power, protecting your nerves, memory, heart, and blood sugar at the same time. While other nuts may lower glucose or cholesterol, walnuts stand out because they supply something most nuts cannot: plant-based omega-3s and polyphenols that reach deep into the nervous system and cardiovascular system, repairing damage from the inside out. Let's begin with the basics. 1 ounce of walnuts, about 14 halves, provides 185 calories, 18 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein, and just 4 grams of carbohydrates. With 2 grams of fiber, the net carb content falls to only 2 grams. Their glycemic index is just 15, and the glycemic load per ounce is effectively 0, meaning they don't raise blood sugar in any significant way. But walnuts aren't just low GI, they actively help reduce A1C when eaten regularly. In one study, people with type 2 diabetes who consumed 1 ounce of walnuts daily for 3 months saw an 8% improvement in HbA1c and significant reductions in fasting insulin. That's more than a safe snack. That's measurable blood sugar healing. The nutrient that makes walnuts unique is alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Each ounce of walnuts provides about 2.5 grams of ALA, which is far more than any other nut. ALA is converted in the body into EPA and DHA, the same fatty acids found in fish, where they help lower inflammation, improve blood vessel function, and protect nerve cells. This is why walnuts are especially powerful for preventing diabetic complications like neuropathy, retinopathy, and cardiovascular disease. In fact, research shows that walnut consumption can lower markers of inflammation, like CRP, by 20 to 25%, while also improving endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to relax and deliver oxygen efficiently. Another superpower of walnuts is their impact on the brain and nervous system. Their high concentration of polyphenols and vitamin E helps protect neurons from oxidative damage. For diabetics who often face brain fog, memory issues, or even increased risk of cognitive decline, walnuts are a natural therapy. One long-term study found that adults who consumed walnuts regularly had better memory, faster processing speed, and sharper attention spans compared to non-consumers. That's not surprising when you consider that diabetes-related nerve damage starts in the small blood vessels that feed the brain. By reducing oxidative stress and supporting blood flow, walnuts essentially shield your nervous system from the silent wear and tear of high blood sugar. But here's something most people don't realize. Walnuts also support eye health and fertility. Diabetes is a leading cause of vision loss, often through retinopathy, which is driven by oxidative stress in the delicate eye tissues. The antioxidants in walnuts, especially lutein and vitamin E, reduce retinal damage and help preserve sharp vision. At the same time, omega-3s and zinc in walnuts improve reproductive health. Research shows that men who regularly ate walnuts had higher sperm motility and vitality, while women saw improvements in hormone balance that supports fertility. These angles make walnuts more than just a food for blood sugar, they're a whole body protector. Heart health is another area where walnuts shine. About 65% of their fat content is polyunsaturated fat, including ALA, while 15% is monounsaturated fat. Together, this fat profile reduces LDL cholesterol, raises HDL, and lowers triglycerides, all critical for diabetics who face nearly double the risk of heart attack and stroke. In fact, one study found that eating just 1 to 1.5 ounces of walnuts per day lowered LDL cholesterol by 9 to 16% in people with type 2 diabetes. That's a level of improvement often seen with cholesterol-lowering medications, but delivered naturally in a handful of nuts. Fun fact, walnuts are one of the oldest tree foods known to man, dating back over 7,000 years. Ancient cultures even called them food for the brain because of their striking resemblance to the human brain, and modern research has confirmed their ability to support memory and cognition. A common myth is that walnuts are too fatty or too high in calories to be safe for diabetics. But here's the truth. The fats in walnuts are precisely the kinds that diabetics need most. They don't cause weight gain when eaten in moderation. In fact, their fat and fiber combo improves satiety and helps regulate appetite. Studies show that including walnuts in the diet is linked to better weight control, smaller waistlines, and improved insulin sensitivity, not the opposite. Helpful tip: for maximum benefit, eat walnuts in the evening as part of your dinner or as a bedtime snack. Their omega-3 content not only stabilizes nighttime blood sugar, but also helps regulate melatonin production for deeper sleep. Try mixing a handful of walnuts into plain Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon, or add them to a vegetable stir-fry for extra crunch and brain-friendly fats. One important note: walnuts can go rancid quickly because of their high polyunsaturated fat content. Always store them in an airtight container in the fridge or freezer to preserve their antioxidant power. A portion of 1 to 1.5 ounces daily, about a small handful, is the sweet spot for most diabetics. At about 50 cents to 70 cents per ounce in the US, walnuts are slightly pricier than peanuts, but their unique blend of omega-3s and antioxidants makes them worth every penny for anyone trying to protect their nerves, heart, and memory. So while walnuts, also known scientifically as Juglans regia, might look like tiny brains, their healing effects on blood sugar, nerves, vision, fertility, and the heart are very real. They don't just fill you up, They build long-term protection against some of diabetes' most dangerous complications. Now I'd love to hear from you. If you could only choose one nut to eat every day, which one would it be? Share your answer in the comments below. I'm always fascinated to see what foods my viewers are reaching for. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more science-based diabetic nutrition, and share this video with someone who needs it. Together we can turn everyday foods into everyday medicine.